So now we're getting into the main part of it. So just another little quad, a quick view of the little 200. Again, a little Daniel Mackenzie from Queensland quad, 10 amp ESCs, one of those Naze boards that I'm not real fond of anymore, and of course the little 5v3 props, and 5v4 props, and of course the telemetry system by FreeSky, and what else have we got there? The little RCX 2400 kV motors. These screen these things, but they have a lot of power. So on-screen display. So a lot of people have there's a lot of hoo-ha about on-screen displays. I tend to use this one. It just plugs your video signal in, and your ground, and your batteries. So for me, I fly with 2 batteries, and I'll explain that in a minute. So video camera into here, and video camera out to your transmitter, and ground from your video camera and then to your transmitter. So basically that just sits in between the 2 wires, and then of course you put your power on here for your main battery, and if you run a second battery like I do, so what that gives you is the 2 batteries in the bottom of your screen, and also the time that it's been powered up. So I don't want to have a whole lot of information. I want to look around and enjoy the flight, not be reading. So I find this really good, and it's got a little button here that you can press and relocate the image, the on-screen display, all around your glasses. So about $12 now. When we talk batteries, and these are the 2 batteries that I fly with, only 4 cells. These are the new Turnigy heavy duties, and these are a 60C, and these are the Old Faithful 1.3s. Now, not a lot of difference in weight, but obviously this is heavier, but great. You get 10 minutes flying normally, about 7 flying like a Wally. This one here probably 7 flying normally, 5 flying like a Wally flat stick. They're the batteries I use, and I think there's a bit of a misconception about that size battery on a small quad. I run this on a 250, so this, you hardly notice it, but I've seen people run 5,000 milliamp batteries on 250s, and the comment must handle like a boat may apply, I don't know. So now we'll get into this. This is something good I found on the net. These are, I won't put the link in there because I can't remember where I got them from, but they're just a 5 to 12 volt converter. They come in a kit. You got to do some soldering or some soldering, and that's what it looks like when it's all done. I put some heat shrink over the top of it. So this end here is the 12 volt, okay, and this end is the 5 volt. So you can plug that into your board, which is 5 volt, and plug that into your camera, and then just use your, just run anything 12 volt off it, or you can plug that into your battery and then run 5 volt off it, so the voltage goes either way, and I have tested that, and it does go either way. So that is, it doesn't weigh anything. So, and I think I bought about 6 of these. I think they're about $2 or $3 each, and the instructions on the net, if you just have a look at 5 to 12 volt converters, you'll come up with that. One of these little cams, these are new out on the market. This was, I think this was about $15, so they're getting cheaper and cheaper. It's got the wide angle lens, so I'm yet to see how that goes, but I've got other lenses I can put in there. It doesn't come with a case, you can buy the plastic case. There's no adjustments, just a plug and play, away you go. So we're going to give that a burl and see how that guy goes. Let's do the interesting transmitters first, or the non-interesting transmitters. These are the 2 ones that I fly with. That's the Sky Zone, the TS, and the FT is the Fat Shark ones. Beauty of these guys here is they're both 200 milliwatts, but they'll take up to 32 volts, so you can basically plug these, either of these guys, straight into your 4-cell, nowhere near frying it. So that's what they look like. They're the guys I use. They're hardly in weight, as I said before. Don't use these antennas, but suit makes the suit. And what I try to do with my quadcopters, I try not to plug my antenna in like that, just in case you stack, because you bust these off, and we've all done that, or seen on various websites where people have done that and caused, how do I glue that back together? So well, a couple of last little things here that I bought. Found this on Flight Test, one of their videos. They made these. This is a 3.3 volt 5.8 gig transmitter, miniature. So bought a set of dip switches from J-Car, and it tells you what to put on there. I don't know whether we can see that if I sort of zoom in there and have a bit of a look, but it tells you there you've got your video, your 2 grounds and your power, and you've got here your 3 channels and your antenna. That was probably the hardest bit, trying to solder that on, but basically that's it. Solders just grounds onto there and you've got all your channels. $14 for that guy, $1.70 for that, so you may as well say $16, and I'm going to try that out. That is 5.8, but it's 100 milliwatt, and this guy here is 100 milliwatt, and this is the 5 volt, but it's the 1.3 gigahertz. I guess the last thing, these batteries. Now I get a lot of flack on the internet about why I fly with 2 batteries. So big chunky battery there to drive the quad and get maximum time and no interference with the video systems. These are the batteries that I'm talking about, and you can see here what the size of them are. These batteries are like about $2 or $3, and they're tiny. And this one here is a 180 milliamp 40C. That's a 12 volt or 3 cell. This one's a 2 cell and 350 milliamp hour, and they are the guys that I use to run my ground stations or stick on my quad to power up my camera and or my but they're the 2 batteries that I use strapped on. So I'll put a 4 cell on and I'll put a little 12 volt next to it, strap him in, and that runs all my power for my transmitter and all my camera. That runs the quad, and you don't have to use filters, so it's probably about double the size of or double the weight of a filter, and you can still put your LiPo alarm in there. So you've got, what I like to have is the on-screen display as well as the alarm. The alarm's nice when you're around close. The on-screen display is nice for when you're sort of out of earshot. So hope you got a few things out of that, and hope you enjoy, and stay safe and keep flying. See ya.